This is Worldwide Classic. I'm Southside Tre. Let's get straight to it. This Saturday, WWE, Saturday night's main event. I don't know what to make of this one, y'all. CM Punk versus Jey Uso. Let's go ahead and talk about that first, because I think this is the most controversial match out of the entire card. I only feel that way is because I see that Jey Uso has been getting a lot of complaints and a lot of dislikes online and on YouTube. I get it, but then I don't get it, because I thought we've all understood the fact that Jey Uso really is a star. Some people have been alluding to the fact that Jey Uso's entrance is the only reason he gets this type of interest. I've said a long time ago that definitely helps. And it only helps because the WWE isn't producing superstars at a high rate the way we would think so. This isn't a guy that came out of nowhere and is just getting title shots just because. We've seen the Usos go through NXT. We've seen them going through the phase where they were wearing face paint and doing the tribal rituals. We've seen them take the bumps and bruises along the way. It took almost 10 years for the Usos to get the right type of character to make them the stars that they are. I want to say this real quick before I get to the point. There's another set of brothers and a tag team in professional wrestling that's very popular with professional wrestling fans. And these guys are the Hardys, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. And they're both super popular as a tag team. And we even know how much people especially love Jeff Hardy. Have the Hardys been bringing new moves to the ring that I didn't know about, that I wasn't aware of? Because even to this day, people still love the Hardys. But what are all of these great moves that the Hardy Boys are doing? Because I guarantee you right now, if Jeff Hardy was in the WWE and getting a title shot, nobody would have a problem with it. So what's the problem with Jey Uso getting the opportunity that he deserves to have? I'm a fan of the Hardys, just like everybody else. So I'm not trying to knock the Hardys. I'm trying to knock this whole perception of Jey Uso not deserving a world title opportunity. Jey Uso and Jeff Hardy don't have the same moveset, but they almost have the exact same number of moves. The only difference is, instead of a super kick from Jey Uso, Jeff Hardy still loves to jump his off ladders, even at 50 years old. So maybe that's the answer. Maybe Jey Uso needs to start jumping his off a ladder to get the point across. So sometimes it just makes me wonder why Jeff Hardy is so much more popular than a Jey Uso. And I'm pretty sure to a lot of wrestling fans, that seems like a silly question. But if we take our own personal feelings aside and really look at the career that both these guys have had, why doesn't Jey Uso deserve a world title opportunity? And to bring us to our main point, even though I'm from Chicago and I always want to see Chicago win, including CM Punk, I'm actually pulling for Jey Uso to win this World Heavyweight Championship for a second time. I like the fact that they're incorporating Roman Reigns in this storyline from time to time. Even though Roman Reigns has let the Usos know that he doesn't want to see them until Christmas, which I thought was some of the craziest that I've heard in quite a while on WWE TV. So even though Roman Reigns doesn't want to see the Usos until the holidays, I feel like if Jey Uso wins this world title, then Roman Reigns will come back in the picture. They've already been teasing Roman Reigns to potentially be the wise man for Jey Uso. How can people say that Jey Uso hasn't earned this spot? He was right there with Roman Reigns for the beginning of that bloodline story. Jey Uso was the first official opponent for Roman Reigns when this tribal chief era first started. So from being his first opponent to being the right-hand man, Jey Uso has been there every step of the way for the past 5 years. I thought Jey Uso gave a great promo with CM Punk leading up to this World Heavyweight Championship match. I think that Jey Uso was making some compelling arguments when he was bringing up how Roman Reigns won his championship and how that he basically needed to do something similar to have the same effect. As much as I criticize the WWE for a lot of dumb decisions, they didn't put Jey Uso in this position for no reason. Even though Triple H tried to put this all on Michael Hayes originally, with Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, it's a reason why Michael P.S. Hayes thought that Jey Uso was the right choice. Michael Hayes has been a vital part of WWE creative, and he doesn't get nearly enough credit that he deserves for his role backstage. And I actually salute Michael Hayes for even being a guy to really vouch and push for Jey Uso to get this spot. Because guess what? Michael Hayes wasn't wrong. And this isn't the first time that Michael Hayes has put together the right pieces to the puzzle. So ultimately, my prediction for Saturday night's main event is that Jey Uso will reclaim his World Heavyweight Championship. I want to see Chicago win all the time. And it's a good chance CM Punk still will win the World Heavyweight Championship. Me personally, I would like to see CM Punk win that championship at WrestleMania. I know it's kind of cliche for those moments to happen, but I think this is something that even CM Punk has always wanted in his career, is to win the title on the biggest stage possible. So from that perspective, I think this is the perfect time for Jey Uso to get a second run at this title. And it's time for Jimmy Uso to back him up the way that he should have had his back the first time Jey Uso was the champion. So from the same train of thought and the same logic as before, how can Jey Uso not win the World Heavyweight Championship? You literally have your twin in your corner, one way or the other. Just like any other big brother, Jimmy Uso needs to step up and hold it down. And it's just that simple. Jimmy Uso, along with Jey, they both need to become the villains that we desperately need in the WWE right now. They've already teased the idea here and there, but it's time to make it happen. This will be the best version of Jey Uso. So it's time to bring everything full circle and introduce some new life back into the World Heavyweight Championship. And most importantly, on Monday nights. So another match that they have is the WWE's Women's Championship. Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. We all saw Jade Cargill turn heel, essentially be the villain, even though I'm a little confused by that because I didn't know that Tiffany Stratton was a babyface, or the good guy for that matter. When the hell did that happen? Because at Crown Jewel, I thought that Stephanie Valkyrie was the babyface in that match. I thought that everything Tiffany Stratton had been doing since she got to the main roster made her the villain of the women's division. So I didn't know that Jade Cargill was quote unquote turning heel when she attacked Tiffany Stratton. But I guess I gotta pretend that it makes some type of sense. So in the spirit of what the WWE is trying to do, Jade Cargill was the villain. And she's essentially getting a rematch from SummerSlam with Tiffany Stratton. I'm always pulling for Jade to win because Jade Cargill is a star. And she's been that way since she started her professional wrestling career. To me, I don't think Jade Cargill gets enough credit for that. It's very rare that you see somebody from AEW come to WWE and they're already a star. We're not talking about Cody Rhodes because Cody was a star before he left WWE. The WWE just didn't realize it. But for Jade Cargill to essentially be a new wrestler since she hadn't been in a sport that long and come from a new company like AEW, that says everything you need to know about the type of star that Jade Cargill is. That even the WWE acknowledged her in that way. I don't remember Jade Cargill going to NXT. Even that speaks volumes. I thought Jade Cargill should have won the championship at SummerSlam. This is something we should have already made happen. But the WWE is apparently going through an identity crisis. So from a month-to-month base, they pretty much don't know what the hell they want to do. I'm still going to stick with what I thought was going to happen at SummerSlam. I want Jade Cargill to win this championship. The only thing is, I need the WWE to really take this serious. This can't be one of the title runs that they give most of the ladies. Just some fluky run with the title just for the sake of saying that they won the championship. Something like we kind of saw with Io Sky. Because as talented as she is, her title run just wasn't worth a damn. And that's what I'm concerned about when it comes to Jade Cargill. The only thing that kind of gives me hope is what I just saw from Tiffany Stratton. That was a title run that you could be proud of. The thing that I really love about Tiffany Stratton's title run is that she's had every type of opponent. She just hasn't had rematch after rematch. Even at Crown Jewel versus Stephanie Valkyrie, I thought that was one of the best women's matches that I've seen in quite a while, especially since they're both essentially still brand new to the main roster. So this has been one of those rare times where somebody from the women's division has had a great title run. That's the only thing that gives me hope for Jade Cargill, because I don't want to look up 3 to 4 months from now and she's losing that title to Bayley. And that's no knock on Bayley. Bayley is great. But I just don't have time for the WWE to try to minimize Jade Cargill as the WWE champion. They don't have to copy what AEW did, but they need to do something pretty damn close to it, because Jade Cargill really can dominate the women's division. And I hope that's exactly what we see. So we're going to talk about the WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Again, for the 3rd or 4th time within a month. Drew McIntyre should be doing something different from this right now, especially if he's not going to win the WWE Championship. It was a report that Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes suggested that Randy Orton get involved and cost Cody Rhodes the title the last time these two guys had a match. That was at WrestlePalooza, I believe. Even though I'm not saying that that's exactly what should have happened, it's an interesting way to go, and I wouldn't be mad if it happened that way. Maybe this is something they're going to try to do at Saturday night's main event, because it's not a bad idea, especially for Randy Orton. I hate the way that they've booked Randy Orton. Unless Orton is dealing with an injury, what the hell is going on? Randy Orton should be in a position where he's close to winning 17 championships, just like John Cena. The way things are looking, Randy Orton might not get to 17. And for me, that's just completely crazy, because I was under the belief he would be the one to originally break the record and not John Cena. And now we haven't seen the man in about 3 or 4 months. So maybe that's why I'm hoping that Randy Orton gets involved in this championship match with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. I hope they do the exact thing that they wanted to be done at WrestlePalooza. This was Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre suggesting this outcome. This is your WWE champion that they've invested so much stock into, pitching this idea. To me, that says a lot that your actual champion wants to see somebody else be the champion. I'm still surprised Cody Rhodes won the championship at SummerSlam. I didn't think it was time yet. But I just thought that spoke volumes that Cody Rhodes is in favor of Drew McIntyre being the champion. Drew McIntyre is one of my favorite wrestlers right now in WWE. So I've already been in high favor of him winning the championship. But to reintroduce Randy Orton in this way and him be the reason that Drew won the title, I think it'll be perfect right now. Because the WWE needs a jump start right now. With Seth Rollins being injured, with John Cena being on his way out the company, with a few other things going on, we have to get Randy Orton back involved in a serious way. Not to mention that Randy Orton has pretty much been side-eyeing the championship on Cody Rhodes for the past 2 years. So the WWE have been real clumsy at teasing a Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton feud. It's time to go ahead and pull the trigger if you're going to do that. And again, this is the perfect scenario and the perfect time to do it. because I think nobody believes that Drew McIntyre is even going to win his championship. I'm one of those people. To me, it doesn't make sense for this match to happen at all. Again, it didn't make sense at WrestlePalooza. If the WWE doesn't want to listen to people like me, or even the WWE Universe, at least listen to the face of the company, and Cody Rhodes. If he's saying Randy should cost him the title in favor of Drew, then damn it, that's what we need to do.